Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the Friday, December 8th, 2023 public meeting of the Clemency Board of the District of Columbia. This meeting will be from 10:30 until about 11:30, and there will be a closed meeting today following public comments. Before we begin our meeting today, I just want to remind everyone of a few housekeeping rules. Please make sure your microphones are muted when you're not speaking. If you have any questions, please hold them. We will have a period for questions. However, feel free to take advantage of the chat function to send questions in. We'll be happy to address them during the question and answer portion of the meeting. I'd like to take attendance of the board members present so we can make sure we have a quorum to proceed. I'll call the name of the board member. Please let me know if you are here. Emily Gunston.
Here.
Brian Ferguson.
Here.
Evan Marlock.
Here.
Katia Semyonova.
Here.
Alana Suttenberg.
Here.
Indira Hennard.
Here.
Fantastic. So we need 5 members to reach a quorum and proceed. We do have a quorum, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, we have 6. And just to note, Felisa let us know ahead of time that she will not be able to join today.
Right. Thank you. I should have noted that. And she also made some comments on the minutes, so we can introduce her adjustments to them. Okay, so let's begin with old business. The board still receives a number of inquiries via phone, mail, email, and Coors Link, which is the Bureau of Prisons communication system. Many of these requests have been for a copy of the application. These requests and inquiries regarding the Clemency Board have continued steadily since the last board meeting, which is great news. We have responded to almost all of them and sent out numerous copies, paper copies of the application. In response, applications have been coming in. In addition to an increase in inquiries, there have been 8 new applications submitted since August, which is fantastic. These applications are pending and have not yet been completed, as there have been hurdles in requesting information through the release of information process. Kimberly can elaborate on the work that is being done on this. Kim, do you want to add something to that?
Yes, so the Superior Court process to get documents from them for the case was not finalized. We're just working the kinks out for that. Their general counsel's office has been very helpful in helping me get through that. I'm starting to get documents back now, and then I'll start sending more releases to them. The CSOSA documents, we have to go through their FOIA process, so that does take up to 60 days to get documents back. It goes through several approval processes. I've asked them if there's ways that we can help expedite that, if there's anything I can do when I send them the requests. So we're working on that. The BOP does not have a process for us, and as you know, their FOIA process does take a really long time. One of their attorneys reached out to me after I just blind emailed a lot of people to let me know that they're going to look into a way for us to make requests in a different way so we can get documents back. They don't want us to get bogged down, because my concern is if we can't get those documents, I can't complete an application, and then we wouldn't be able to get to the hearing process. So they're going to get back to me on that. Trying to think of the other releases. The DOJ, if someone does have a DOJ application, I will send those in, and that should be fine. But other than that, we are starting to send releases out, and I am getting responses, which is very good. I haven't hit any roadblocks yet. So hopefully that will mean in this next year, we'll get a complete application together for you to review.
That's great. Thank you. Does any board member have suggestions or any offer of help with helping with anything that Kim has raised as obstacles?
With what? Can you repeat that, please?
Sure. Kim just raised a number of issues that, process-wise, and I'm just wondering, often the board has had ideas about how to help either go around an obstacle or go right to it. I didn't know if that was the case with anything that Kim just raised. I apologize. I'm at a distinct disadvantage in that I can't see your faces, so I don't know if somebody's hesitating or wanting to speak, or so I need you to verbalize.
Patrick, it doesn't look like anyone has comments now. I will definitely email the board if I hit a roadblock where I just really am not getting responses. But I think so far, since I am getting responses, we're good to keep chugging forward.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, so just in total, this makes 13 applications so far this year. Unfortunately, 3 were closed due to being ineligible because they related to a federal offense rather than a DC offense. 1 application from 2022 was deemed incomplete and inactive. However, this applicant has recently got in touch with the Clemency Board and submitted their updated releases. You know, I think everybody remembers that the releases expire after 1 year and have to be renewed upon their expiration. So there are currently 10 pending applications. 3 of those pending applications currently have an attorney assisting them with their applications, which is also great. Tiffany Smith, the managing attorney of clinical and experiential programs at UDC Law School, has been assisting applicants with their applications. Any legally qualifying applicants will be referred to her as they continue their process through the submission of any additional information for consideration and their hearings. Ms. Smith has confirmed that she's able to accept more applications at this time. I mean, the board is very grateful for that assistance. So thank you very much to Tiffany Smith and to the students at UDC and to the UDC Law School. Please, for board members, check your email and box accounts for updates regarding these applications. Due to the confidential nature of the information required for a conflicts check, the conflict check information will be included on box, and that's the most secure way for Kimberly Yuan, our staff director, to share this information. According to the guidelines, board members must respond to this within 2 weeks of being notified that a conflict check has been initiated. It can be done much more quickly, typically. Without confirmation that a board member does not have a conflict, Kimberly will be unable to share application information with board members until the check is complete. So in order to meet a quorum at any meetings regarding applications, we really need board members to participate in that conflicts check process. And Kimberly, am I correct that when a new item is posted for us in box, we get an email notification of that?
Yes, I'm going to email you. So far, there's just that one up there. I was just waiting for a couple more responses to it, and some people are still having issues with the box folder. So I've put them in touch with IT. If anyone else is having issues, let me know. And I will note for Alana, I do have you as a standing conflict. So I will make sure I'm putting that in there every time I enter a new case.
Okay. Any questions from board members on that information? No? Okay. So new business. The final community event for 2023 has been scheduled for Wednesday, December 13th, that's next Wednesday, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Reeves Center. Frank Reeves Center is at 14th and U Street Northwest. It's a workshop setup this time, a little different than previously, where attendees can get more information about the Clemency Board, the Clemency process, and can even fill an application with the volunteers who will be present. OGC staff will be present as well to answer any questions. Volunteers include a paralegal, Tiffany Smith, Morca staff, and an attorney from Christian Legal Aid. Norman Brown, an Obama clemency recipient, has also agreed to attend and to speak to attendees. If board members are able to attend, that would be great. And again, it's next Wednesday, December 13th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Reeves Center. Even just if you can attend for, no more than an hour, it would be really great for there to be visibility of the board at this event. So if you can mark your calendars, that would be appreciated. Next item of new business is the board vacancy. We have an open seat for a member of the District of Columbia Bar in good standing with experience in criminal law. We have had some interest in the position, but it is currently still open. If you know of anyone who would be a good fit for this position, we really ask you to please reach out to our staff director and submit your application through the Mayor's Office of Talent and Appointments website. We are very much hoping to fill this seat as soon as possible. And just as a healthy competition, lots of lawyers on the board, lots of lawyers in the city. This requires that it be a member of the DC Bar in good standing. So for those of you who are so inclined or disposed, we really would be looking for someone who'd be a good fit. So I think the best way to great board members is to seek out people who we know would be excellent. Next item of new business, the annual report. The Clemency Board is required by council to report to the council annually. It's this month. OGC has drafted the annual report and will distribute a copy to the board. Any suggestions or edits can be sent to our staff director via email. She'll send to the board once it is ready for review. And as I said, we expect to think it will, that goes this month. So you'll be seeing that in the next couple of days. Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to add a new item to the agenda. I would like to make a motion to add the discussion of the Clemency Board's public meeting minutes for September 8th, 2023. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Due to technical issues, the meeting was not recorded on September 8th, and therefore the meeting minutes have been drafted for the board to approve. And these were distributed to the board prior to this meeting for review. Does anyone have anything they'd like to discuss regarding the minutes or have any amendments they'd like to make?
I think it's hard to do the minutes in this fashion, where it's expressing sentiments in addition to just stating facts of discussion. I'm not disputing that it's good news or bad news that, that Mike was gone from one office to another office. I just think that the minutes should present facts rather than opinions of the board as a whole. And that goes for there's several places where that's done. It's done with respect to hopes about applicants. It's done with staffing. I don't think that I don't think it reflects what actually is happening in a board with multiple people present. So it troubles me for accuracy reasons and just on the sort of transparency front.
Understood. So one of the things I'll need you to do is make a motion and have a second, but you have to give us the exact language of what's the change you want made. So if you'd like to do that, we can do that now.
Do we need to do this for this meeting?
So
Yeah.
so the way that the Open Meetings Act works is the recordings are supposed to be posted to the public within 3 business days to make sure that it stays public. I was not here for that meeting, so I was just trying to correct this break in our record. If we need more time, I would rather that the minutes be accurate and board approved versus trying to rush it and get it done. We're hoping to have another meeting in January. So if this is something the board would want to table for that, and maybe we go back and forth with edits and give everyone a little more time to look over it, I'm happy to do that as well. But I just want to make sure the board is on the same page about that before we decide that, or before the board decides that.
So given that, Katya, do you want to make a motion that we delay the review?
I'm wondering, does anybody have notes of the meeting? This is just best recollection.
I don't know how these were created. My sense is probably is best recollection. I think we all were under the assumption it's being recorded.
These are notes that our office had taken during the meeting. So these are the only notes that I have of it. Since it's not recorded, I can't really go back and look through it. So
Right.
I don't know if anyone else takes notes.
You guys so I'll make a motion to table this till the next meeting, and maybe we can circulate something amongst the board members.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, again, I have to hear you because I can't see you. So I've heard 4 people say aye.
I think we just need to hear from Indira and Brian.
Oh, sorry, I was having tech issues. Aye.
Okay, we're good now. Okay, so
Sorry, I
we'll
thought
table
that I
this.
had off mute.
Okay, and then we have
What, Kim?
Brian also just said aye, so that should be everyone.
Okay, great. So it's passed. We'll go ahead and table it until next month. Kim, I assume what you'll do is send it out again. Board members are asked to make specific changes, what does that strike, where you can strike the words that you want out and add the words you want in, and then we'll redistribute them before the next meeting so people have the time to see everybody's changes.
Yes, and
Is that agreeable to the board?
Yes, and if everyone can just use track changes so that it can kind of note who's making the changes, what changes are being made, and we can keep track of that way, that would be really helpful.
Great, and you'll put the instruction in it when you convey this to everybody again?
Yes, I will send that in the email.
Okay, great. Okay. So that's it on the minute. So the next section of our meeting is public comments. I'm sorry, I can't see members of the public. Are there public members present who would like to make comments? I'm hearing none.
If you're an attendee, can you please raise your hand or make a message in the chat if you'd like to speak? Okay, Ms. Moyd would like to speak.
Oh, good morning, Professor Moyd. Welcome.
I apologize, I have to unmute her, but I don't know. 1 second. Okay, Ms. Moyd, yes, I brought you in as a panelist so that you can unmute.
Great. Hello, everyone.
Professor.
Hi. Good to see everyone. I just wanted to do two things. One is to thank Kim for coming to the CCE Criminal Justice Committee meeting on yesterday and sharing information about the Clemency Board. A lot of people just still don't know, even people who practice in this area, what the board is about. So it was very helpful. I also just wanted to share that I really like the concept of changing the community engagement form to a workshop. I think it will certainly increase some of the engagement in the community. Thank you.
Great. Professor, do you want to say anything about what the CCE Criminal Justice Group was discussing, or how we can continue our relationship with them?
So the Criminal Justice Committee is just one of the committees that's a part of CCE. Ilana and some others often attend those meetings, and I just happen to co-chair that subcommittee. And we talk about a variety of things related to the criminal justice arena in the district, the ongoing changes at the DC jail, the new construction, the halfway house, just kind of a garden variety of criminal justice issues. We also testify before the council on different issues that come up. And it was just, again, very helpful for folks to hear about the Clemency Board. They hear me talk about me attending the meetings all the time, but to have Kim come and speak was, again, very informative for everyone.
And I just want to thank you again, Ms. Moyd, for having me. I think it was very helpful. I got a lot of responses from the committee, and I stayed on the whole meeting, and people were sending me chats asking for more information, not just about our event, but also the board and the application process. So I think that was a really good community engagement thing to do. So thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Professor. Appreciate your attendance, your participation, your active voice with us on the Clemency Board. So thank you. Are there any other public comments? And again, Kim, if you could guide me.
I am going to kind of just go through and move people to being panelists so they can unmute themselves, because I think there's some issues with on my end. So if anyone is an attendee who would like to speak, just you should be able to unmute yourself at this point. Okay, I don't see anyone speaking up. So if there is no one, we will end the public comment portion of the meeting.
Okay, very good, thank you. So the next item on our agenda is closed session. So I move to enter into a closed executive session to discuss board composition pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, Section 2, 757B10. Each member present must vote. So I'm going to do a roll call of everyone present, and please tell me if you agree that we can go into a closed session, and then we will come back into a public session to end the meeting. So Emily Gunston. Brian Ferguson.
Yes.
Evan Maroff.
Yes.
Katya Semenova.
Yes.
Alana Settenberg.
Abstain.
Indira Hennard.
Yes.
Okay, so I believe we have 5, am I correct?
Yes.
What's that? Okay.
So we have a
So
majority.
tell us how we're doing this.
I am going
Okay,
to
great. So
move the board into a breakout room. So let me just go ahead and assign that.
Okay. Oh boy, I hope to see you on the other side.
Let me just check everyone off. Patrick is just doing a countdown to bring everyone back, so they should be back shortly. Okay, my apologies. It does a countdown to bring us back. It looks like we have everyone, Patrick. Oh. And Patrick, you're muted.
Hi there.
There you go.
You can hear me, Kim?
Yes.
Okay. So we're back in the public session now, and the meeting continues. The board has concluded the closed session meeting regarding board composition, and there were no decisions made in that meeting. If there are future decisions, the board will notify the public once any of those have been made. So to close out our meeting for today, we have planned our meeting schedule for 2024. Please be on the lookout for a calendar invitation for these meetings. Our next meeting will be January 12th, 2024 at 10:30 a.m., which will include a public and closed session. We will be having a sensitivity training for the board at this meeting. Daryl Wise from Morca is currently set to speak, and we are planning for other speakers as well. Please save this date in your calendar so that all board members can attend this training in preparation for our first hearing in the new year. After the January 12th meeting, which is our first of 2024, we will have a meeting scheduled every other month on the second Friday of the month at 10:30 each time. This is to create some routine regularity and for scheduling purposes for board members. So again, we will have a meeting every other month, so January, March, and thereafter every other month, the second Friday of the month at 10:30. Please plan for both an open meeting and a closed meeting for each of those dates so that we have sufficient time to address board business, both in the public and closed sessions if necessary. Okay. We also can schedule meetings in between if necessary. At this point, I think that every other month schedule should work pretty well for people. Any questions about that?
And I will send everyone a calendar invite after today's meeting, just so it's automatically saved for you.
Okay, that's great.
Okay. It doesn't look like anyone has any questions, Patrick.
Okay, great. So with that, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Katya raised her hand. I believe that means she seconds.
Yes, second.
Okay, then okay, great. Then we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Hope you have
Thank you.
whatever holiday you might be celebrating this month. I hope it's an enjoyable one. Thank you.